Hi everyone. I know you have an entire textbook on infographics, but I'd like to take just a couple of minutes to give you a very brief introduction. So infographics, as we said in the introductory video, are a way of visually communicating data. And these are incredibly powerful tools in the business world. You've heard this before, time is money. And so in the business world, we need to convey information as concisely as possible while still being accurate. The human brain is really interesting because 50% of your brain is dedicated to either directly or indirectly visually processing information. So because we are visual creatures, the visual report of information is actually easier for us to process. So if I have a bunch of numbers to give you and I show it to you in visual form, it's going to take you a fraction of the amount of time to process it as it would if I had orally conveyed it to you or written all the information in paragraph form. So we use a ton of infographics in the business world, and we use it to convey all types of data: statistics, processes, chronologies, geographies, anatomies, hierarchies, relationships, personalities even. So there's a lot of infographics that you're going to encounter in day-to-day business interactions. And you've seen them all your life, honestly. Part bar charts, pie charts, line graphs, Venn diagrams even. Remember starting those in elementary school? Those are all infographics that are very common in the business world, and they're tools that are going to help you throughout your career. So here are a couple design tips that I'd like for you to keep in mind as you're beginning to think about how to build infographics. First and foremost, you've got to design while ethically conveying your data. This is a place that a lot of people are tempted to fall short. The United States is considered to be the most math-phobic of all first world countries. Pretty unfortunate. What that means is in the United States, your average citizen will elect to spend as little time as possible processing information that deals with numbers, because the more time they spend thinking about it, the worse they're going to feel. They're going to start getting sweaty palms, or their stomach's going to start hurting. It's unfortunate, but it's true. There's a lot of research that supports this. So because of that, your average US citizen, you show them an infographic, they are going to look at it as little as possible, get the general idea, and flip forward. And that's an opportunity to be unethical and sway the data to make it look like it says what you want it to say rather than what it actually says. So, for example, let's say I'm working at a business in Greensboro, and I had this idea to increase the profits at our business. And I fought really, really hard to get my boss to let me move forward with my idea. So it's been a year, and now I need to show my boss what a good job I've done. So I present my boss with this bar chart, which shows clearly how profits have just increased from quarter to quarter to quarter with my idea being implemented. But here's the problem. My y-axis, I only let it run from 3.9 to 4.1. So there's actually a difference of 0.2 on this entire scale. If I design this ethically, what I would have done instead is start at 0 and let it go all the way up to 5. And that shows that, well, actually, there's almost no difference at all. Well, yes, there has been a slight upward trend in profits. That could be by chance. It could be by other factors. And honestly, it's probably time to start thinking of a different idea. Again, often we're tempted to use infographics because the information is so clear and easy to read for others to make it say what we want it to say, and we can't do that. We have to be transparent with the data. Another tip for thinking about how to design infographics is, remember, this is not a piece of art, it's a piece of communication. And if you think about it as a piece of art, and you're like me, not artistic, you're going to psych yourself out. The focus is not on how good it looks, the focus is on how clearly you're communicating. And you can do that very, very clearly using just the tools you have in PowerPoint. You also have a lot of references to rely upon. You've got imagery and metaphors that you've grown up with that are often incorporated to infographics, and also your textbook shows you dozens and dozens of types of infographics that you can use and adapt. They're shared with you to be used for your own purposes because these are reliable types of infographics that are very clear to the US audience. So overall, remember that the purpose of your infographic is to inform, it's to communicate, do very, very well. Remember, I'm here to help.